So it's like a lot of people, they get jaded, like, they get like negative or reject something in life they want rejects them. They get like negative and they give up, or they try to belittle things, sour grapes and all that. But don't do that. And it's easy to do it, but don't do it, because you lose. You're the number one person to get what you want in life. And that can even like running people, you know, like an organization or something, you know. It's like you're the number one. If you're especially leadership, you know, no one bleeds for the prince in the palace or the princess. You know, you got to be able to be, you know, it's not about people either. Life will test you, you know. This is why, like, young men, you know, they like a father figure, for example, how life's going to test them, like a teacher, you know. It's this role, this mentor thing doesn't have a gender either. These people, you know, young people like to learn things, because it's like there's going to be trials and tribulations, especially when you seek out difficulty to improve yourself. So it's not something that should be scared of, or like revoked or whatever. It's something that people take on their own pace, I think, a lot of the time. But don't shy away from conflict that really matters to you. Now, don't like fight just to fight, but don't be passive about your life. I don't care if you're shy or whatever. Don't be passive about your self-worth. That's my point. Because no one's able to have your life, your dreams. You're the gatekeeper of your dreams, I'm trying to say. You're the only person who can live them, and you're the only person who can give up on them. Because you're the only person who has the keys to your dreams. And only you know what you want and what you don't want. And you can feel it. You don't have to say it or anything. It's a feeling. It's that quiet voice that's always with you. It's not even like a voice. It's just a understanding with yourself. It's like like meditation's about like for that, I think. But it's all just where you fit in with life. Let's see here. Have I done this right? Yeah. So. Anyway, I'm trying to convey like a simple idea, or feeling, and understanding, you know, a justification of your existence in simple terms. But it's not a simple idea, I don't think. But it's like running a motor, you know. It's very complicated, but you get used to it as a simple experience, you know, the hum of the motor or whatever, you're going somewhere. But it's usually like a complicated affair. It takes a lot of understanding, especially if you want to fix it, you know. It's easy just to keep the wheels turning, but it's hard when the wheels stop to take apart an engine to put it back together. You have to have a complete understanding, or very close to it, or for operational at least, you know, to have everything keep going. So you guys don't need that. So yeah, it's a big deal. And this is also, it frees up. You have to align yourself like mentally to compete with life. You can't just be weak and expect that life's gonna go great, right? That's why there's winners and losers in life, you know, because some people think that they're more prepared than they actually are. And life, nobody hits you harder in life, like Rocky says, you know. Life will tell you if you're doing it right or if you're doing it wrong, and you can feel it too, you know. So don't ever try to be someone else, because it's just you'll never quite get there, because it's always a moving goalpost. But that's why I don't like it having, say, like an avatar, or having a constantly changing image of yourself, because it's like, for me, it's like to represent yourself. There's a true self. You may not know your passions or your interests or whatever, because I didn't know I was interested in guitar until I picked one up and started playing. music, but, I don't like having the goalposts for myself and how my own image constantly move. Like, oh, it doesn't matter, right? It's whatever. It's a trend. I don't like. I like having a unique, not well defined, but a stable definition of yourself that you agree with. That's not determined by the outside world. That way, you can really anchor yourself, and you can really, you might set yourself up for a disappointment, or like the world isn't actually how you think it is. But at least you know how to fix it because you realize what went wrong, because it was a factor that you made, that you're the author of. It wasn't somebody else's idea. So the determining factor is isolated. And if you're right, you're right. You're wrong. But it's one hell of a thing to take that on your shoulders and to be like, you know what? Yeah, 'cause it's easy to hide. It's very hard, easy to be fake, but it's hard to actually justify your existence of life. It's always, every day, it's every moment. You don't get tomorrow. Tomorrow's never free. I learned this very quick in life with people not reaching tomorrow, and every moment is connected to another. It's a string. It's a constant flow, and every day you're asked, do you are you worthy of life, basically? And your body will get healthy or not, wherever it'll fail, get old. Right? There's always a time for things to end and begin, but it's a subtle little game in life, It's always asking, are you worthy of this? There's a weird little way of life too. Like, things happen that shouldn't, perhaps, that don't make any sense, but they make perfect sense to how the flow of life works. The effort you put into things. You can make your own luck, basically, with effort and grit and determination. You don't have to be a victim in life. Maybe you don't get what you want exactly, but you can still plant the seed that grows a tree that bears into fruition. Makes fruit of your dreams. Like the Werner von Braun, the guy who did rockets. He didn't go to space, but he planted the seed, maybe the V2 rocket seed, but that went to space, and people before him, like in the Dreaming, going to the moon, it was just like silent film. So everything matters, because everything stacks together, like these blocks, everything matters, especially, we're right here, right, and there's this big stack, especially when you look into history, you really sink your teeth into it, you realize that those people, they're all, everything's, you're that block, big ancestor, depending on your actions, you can be a biological failure and have no children, and your branch of the tree ends. At one time, you were the tip of the tallest limb of the branch of the human experience tree, stretching back from the dawn of time. You're an unbroken chain from the beginning of existence. That's one hell of a thing to really think about, but it's true. The beginning of time, you stretch back to there. Maybe you're particles or something, but you're related to it, to everything. And that's one hell of a thing to realize. You're responsible for, not just your emotions, not just how you feel, not just, all this crap, but, there's a burden to understanding your existence, that you have to work. It's like opening your eyes, like in the Bible, it's the Adam and Eve thing. It's not about a punishment. It's a realization that, now that you have, like, the knowledge of fire or whatever, you have to go and to use it. You have to, or the fire of knowledge, I guess you could say. It's this understanding that to meet your potential, you have to work. You can't just be innocent. You know how to do harm, so you can now heal, right? But you also know how to do evil. So it's like the power thing. It's two sides. There's always a cost to things, right? People had to suffer incredibly. When people look at the motivation to change life, to get penicillin, by mistake, people had to had to go through all this bull crap in life, get the conditions just right to make, the people, cities, technology. People weren't stuck dying like at 35 all the time. So they actually spend their time working as specialization. Everything's related, and people, I know that it's hard just to exist sometimes. So I always have this thing in the back of my mind to do engineering things to enable more people to live freely, not just like as in the word, but actually to take care of your 6 basic needs. There's water, a week without that you're dead pretty much. Food, month without that you're kind of dead. There's shelter, a year without that in Canada you're basically dead. And there's people need dignity or opportunity, a resource. You can't just plunk someone out in the ocean and expect them to live. It won't work. Then you need dignity, trust, basically, right? That people trust that you're valuable, and you can do trade with them. You won't just kill them on sight when you go into your home. That's dignity, that you have value to someone else. People value themselves, they don't kill themselves. So if you have value to them, they won't kill you. And that's a very basic example, but it's it's a proof of dignity. It's honor and all that jazz, dignity. And the last one is community. We're social beings. We need to be around each other. It's where you find love and stuff. You don't have community, you can't find love. You can't do all this. You can't combine it. The best parts of life are with people a lot of the time. I'm a bit of a hermit myself, but I realize that humans we're way awesome with people. We're very bad. It's inhumane to separate people from one another. It's not how life is meant to be. Even in the rural areas, there's still people around. It's just that they're more private or dispersed. But yeah.